As seen at the Tour de France, stage 1 in Germany, and in my video yesterday, the Elite Direto Smart Trainer. Only 5 minutes after I finished yesterday's video, the doorbell rang and my pre-production unit was here for testing. So I have my hands and legs on one of these units. Let's have a chat about what I've seen so far. I've been sent this unit from Elite to do some Lama testing on. I think it's becoming an industry standard now to put a trainer through some stress testing before it goes out to market. So we've got these units probably 5 to 6 weeks before they'll hit the shelves to provide Elite some feedback. Due to this unit being a pre-production unit and not the final thing, it will be close to what's coming out on the shelf. But just remember, all the information provided here is subject to change. So onto the name, Direto. Direto without the C. So you take away the C, it becomes a Direto. I think we'll standardize on Direto. Ray went with Direto chip. It sounds a lot better and a lot easier to remember than Direto, which I will get wrong quite often. So I'm going to stick with Direto for today. Apologies to Elite for butchering their beautiful naming scheme. My first impressions of the unit was it's quite large, so I tabled up some results here on the screen, comparing it to the Flux, the Neo, and the Kicker 2. The Direto takes the cake in length, width, height, and axle height. Axle height being the height of the bike, effectively, when you put it on the trainer. How high are you sitting up? This one takes the cake even over the Neo. You can see the Kicker 2 there is 34 centimeters. The Flux is 34 centimeters, which is about the standard road wheel height. The Neo is still quite high. You can feel you feel higher on the Neo. On the Direto, you are quite high. And I think this was the contributing factor for Ray chopping his own head off in his video review of the Direto. Links below for that as well. So 37 centimeters, quite high. You will definitely need a front wheel chock for this unit. I also looked at the rear mech clearance as well. The Neo and the Kicker 2 have almost empty space from the axle down to the ground, so rear mech size isn't a problem. The Flux, people have said long cage can hit the Flux body in certain gearing. The Direto has 24 to 25 centimeters of clearance, so quite a bit of room down there on the unit, depending on the gearing you're running at the back. So with the unit being the biggest smart trainer that I currently own in the collection here, the feet do fold up, so it can go here on the shelf without a problem. And moving it around isn't too hard. It's quite light for a large unit. So the full specs of this unit are up on the Elite website. I'll link here and I'll link below to those as well. Now I won't deep dive, we will shallow dive. Just watch for spinal injuries on that one. The specifications of this unit are 1400 watts of resistance. That's quite a bit of bite, it really is. If you're putting out 1400 watts legitimately and sustaining that indoors, you're doing quite well. 14% gradient simulation. On Zwift last night, my ride hit a 7 to 8% grade in maximum simulation mode. That was a lot. It felt like outside, so I can guarantee you 14% isn't a limitation of this unit whatsoever. Communication protocols, we have ANT Plus FEC and Bluetooth Smart. There's also some extra behind the scenes stuff going on with the Bluetooth implementation, which is good to see. It's a standardization of the industry. I guess the biggest difference we can point out here is that it's both dual Bluetooth and ANT Plus at the same time. So really handy for me to set erg mode using my phone and collect the data using ANT Plus. That's a good one. And coming in the box is the through axle adapters for 12 by 142. Onto the power side of things, 2.5% accuracy claims from Elite. Let's put that straight to the test straight away. Now do remember this is the pre-production unit, so what you see here may not be representative of the final unit, but I want to share this one anyway. Let me show you why. Now flipping over to my favorite website on the internet, DC Rainmaker's analysis tool, you can see I've put the Direto up against my PowerTap P1 dual-sided pedals, and yes, there are actually 2 power meters there. I did double check that because they were so close. This is out of the box. Just riding along. We have peaks of up to 400 watts or so for a minute. And I still really didn't believe what I was seeing and how close they were. So into the standard Lama test here. We have 200 watts erg mode. I can't actually separate them, so let's dive in a little closer here. And it's a beautiful thing. It brought a tear to my eye, almost, that they were tracking so well. That's the 200 watt section. I bumped it up to 220 watts for the end. So power accuracy and power tracking with the pedals, spot on. Really, really good. The next thing is responsiveness. How is the snap out of the saddle on these things? Well, here's 2 1100 watt sprints. Again, hats off to Elite on this one. That is damn good. Really good. Really good response time. And tracking with the pedals really, really well. The backing off of the pedals, that's not to be worried. It's probably a second difference between those two there. But for those data analysts who are looking at this and people who have tracked my other reviews and things of other trainers, Elite, well done. Well done on that one. So after an hour of riding along on Zwift, I tried erg mode, I tried sprints, standing starts, loading up the legs both downhill and uphill. It was a pretty good ride. Good inertia in the system, good spin down time, so when you back off the pedals, it doesn't punish you straight away. Well, erg mode might, and it did. But just riding along, it felt like outside, so good inertia in the pedal stroke, and just good training overall. So a sub $1,000 trainer for direct drive, not a bad little unit. Again, pre-production. If the final version is similar to this, I think people are going to be happy with the purchase. So the noise levels of the Direto. Well, it's not a Neo, so it's not silent, but it's not obnoxious. It doesn't have a large turbine sound to it like the Le Mans Revolution. I asked Veronica, who was in the room next to me after I'd done my session, what was it like? And pretty much that's what she came back with. I could hear it, but it wasn't too obnoxious. There is a bit of a dot matrix printer hum to it as it changes resistance. There's a low noise humming to it, which we're familiar with the Direto, but it's not too bad. So I've got my work cut out for me for the next week or so, providing Elite a lot of the feedback I've got from this unit, and hopefully seeing this unit on the shelf in a few weeks' time. So there's my preview of the newest smart trainer, just about to hit the market. Keep an eye out for my official unboxing, building, and ride video in the next few weeks or so. Thanks for watching.